Morning. I thought I'd give you a quick update about where we were, what we're up to with the Apple Wood Violin. So I'll give you a quick run through what I've been up to, what I'm doing, and what I'm doing today, and what I'm going to be doing over the next few days. So at this point, I've kind of finished the thicknessing of the front and the back completely. I mean, you can see it's covered in little pressure points from where I was using the little pointy thing which I use to measure thickness, or to actually sort of mark the thickness, should I say. That I get rid of by giving the thing a wipe over with steamy water. One of the last things I do, which raises any sort of grain. That's part of the sort of the finishing, part of the sort of just cleaning up the outside, part of that same operation. I've done things like marking out the F-holes. I've carved that. You can just see in the shadow, I've carved the relief on the side of the F-hole, which I tend to do before I actually cut the F-holes. The sort of rib garland is all set and ready to go. So basically those three, once I've done the F-holes, once I put the base bar in, then these can go together. Well, actually there's one step first, which is one of the things I'm doing today. At this point in time, you have an unfinished hard edge on the inside of the back. So what I'm doing now is the inside face of the back, if you like, which is visible outside of the ribs. I'm just sort of doing that rounding over now before that's glued together, because you can do that afterwards, but gosh, it makes it so much harder if you leave it until afterwards. So today I would hope to get the edges of this all finished, get the inside of this sort of finely cleaned up, and then mount that onto the rib garland. So this is the ribs still with a part of the mould in there. I've actually decided to sort of use the mould as a sacrificial mould this time. I think I'll design something more clever for the future if I'm going to do it that way, so that the thing actually comes apart. But then these pins, these locating pins, oh, it's very difficult to do this with one hand. There we go. Locating pins are used so that it always goes back in the same place. There we are. And they're glued in place. So this is what I was saying about the edge. Effectively, what I'm doing at the moment is cleaning up that edge, so when it's all glued together, that corner there will be nice and ready to go. So I don't have to try and do that afterwards. When that's on, as I say, base bar, F-holes onto here, clean up the edges of this, and then that will go together. So that's the stage we are at the moment. Yeah, it's coming on. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned previously that I got on with the neck as well. So effectively, you know, we're making major moves forward now. And I know some of you are going to be saying, well, you haven't done the purfling yet, but there's a very good reason for that. My plan is to do what Stradivarius and what Guarneri used to do, which is put the purfling in after the body's been assembled. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One is I wanted to try the sort of freedom it gives me to make the edge work really, really nicely with the actual rib garland. So there's a really consistent overhang, nice shape and so on, which I can play with. And then after that, I can then get the purfling added so that it follows the outline really closely. And the other thing is, if you put the purfling in pretty much as the last major job on the outside, it means any tool marks will be from putting that purfling in. And though you see those tool marks all the time on Guarneri especially, less so on Stradivarius, who was pretty meticulous on most fronts, but Guarneri and quite a few other makers, you see those tool marks around the purfling. And I'm not distressing my violins. I don't chip them, dent them. I allow some discoloration in the finishing, but I don't do any physical damage to them as such. And so in order for it to get authentic looking tool marks around the purfling, I need to do the purfling in that authentic manner. So it's a little bit of an affectation really, but I think it's going to look beautifully authentic if I do that. So that's my thinking behind that. So A, the ease of getting the outside shape right, and B, a sort of a nice gentle kind of roughness to it from real tool marks created doing a real job. Anyway, I hope that explains that. So let's see how today goes. I'll keep you posted and talk to you soon. Cheers.